They have concluded all the closing arguments, written argument, and everything. Now we have to hear the dates in another few days now, or maybe weeks. The tribunal is going to announce the judgment day. You see all of this, expectation, hope, and all that. Blood go begin the rush again, Abi. But the day is going to come and gone. Until then, here is Kolu saying, I mean, you remember the red flag I told you? It's not going to be boring. No, it's not going to be boring. It's just going to be lying. And you're going to tell easily. But the first red flag is how they fast forwarded. And they make it look like it's just really like, you can tell. Like, number one, it didn't write it. Number two, it didn't dictate to those who write it. Number three, it doesn't even know everything inside it. Which means somebody wrote that and they gave to him and they edited the whole thing and they made him started sounding like a typewriter. But it's funny anyway. So don't expect anything much. Just laugh if you want to laugh. Or get angry. If now your own choice be that. Whatever you do, don't stand up. Please don't leave that seat. Call you, ladies and gentlemen, your president.
My fellow citizens, I want to talk to you about our economy. It is important that you understand the reasons for the policy measures I've taken to combat the serious economic challenges this nation had long faced. I'm not going to talk in difficult terms by dwelling on economic jargon and concepts. I will speak in plain, clear language so that you know where I stand. More importantly, so that you see and hopefully will share my vision regarding the journey to a better, more productive economy for our beloved country. For several years, I have consistently maintained the position that the fuel subsidy had to go. This once beneficial measure had outlived its usefulness. The subsidy cost us trillions of naira yearly, such as a vast sum of money would have been better spent on public transportation, health care, school, housing, and even national security. Instead, it was being funneled into the deep pocket and lavish bank account of a selected group of individuals. This group had amassed so much wealth and power that they became a serious threat to the fairness of our economy and the integrity of our democratic governance. To be blunt, Nigeria could never become the society it was intended to be as long as such small, powerful, yet unelected groups hold enormous influence over our political economy and the institutions that govern it. The whims of the few should never hold dominant sway over the hopes and aspirations of the many. If we are to be a democracy, the people and not the power of money must be sovereign. The preceding administration saw this looming danger as well. Indeed, it made no provision in the 2023 appropriation for subsidy after June this year. Removal of this once helpful device that had transformed into a millstone around the country's neck had become inevitable. Also, the multiple exchange rate, the system that had been established became nothing but a highway of currency speculation. It diverted money that should have been used to create jobs, build factories, and businesses for millions of people. Our national wealth was doled out on favorable terms to a handful of people who had been made filthy rich simply by moving money from one hand to another. This too was extremely unfair and is not acceptable. It's also compounded the threat that the illicit and mass accumulation of money pose to the future of our democratic system and its economy. I had promised to reform.
I'm sorry, I know some of you will be like, it's boring. I told you, okay, he was going to lie. But he was talking about subsidy. He said he has always been in support of removal of subsidy because it's a waste. But you know that is a lie now. Have you forgotten 2012? Eh? Jonathan must go. 2012. It was organized by this guy and their progressive APC, when they were ACN, I believe. Like, you never supported the removal. Okay, now I've supported the removal. Okay, now he's talking about some people who have been made filthy rich, that they are so rich, that they are security threats to Nigeria. But he failed to mention any name. Who are these guys? How come the president of Nigeria is so kind of a coward or so that he can't mention the name of those who have milked Nigerians? And they have pushed, he's putting the blame on the faceless, nameless oil marketers as the reasons why you are suffering. Because when he removed the subsidy, those people jacked up the price. Who are they? I mean, you know, go on, no, say who them be? And he's talking about them in lengthy written jargons. And he said, I'm not going to be involved in any economic jargons. Papa, you are saying jargons, man. You are not the leader of opposition party. You are supposed president of Nigeria. And you have people who have held Nigeria hostage. And Nigerians don't know their names. Because they know their names. For 8 years, when Bukwari started paying trillions to himself and his friends in NNPC and all that, they started jacking up the number of the millions of liters Nigerians actually uses to what they are paying subsidy on. But they were paying it to some people. Their names and all of that money, where they went, should be on the table of this guy. But they are his friends. So they are playing on your own intelligence. It can be annoying, not just boring. And I want you to get angry, not bored. Here is the continuation.
The elite of the elite,
at this point,
you might call them. As we move to fight the flaws in the economy, the people who grow rich from them predictably will fight back through every means necessary. But we are ready. Our economy is going through a tough patch, and you are being hurt by it, I know. The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not. If there were, I would have taken that route, as I came here to help, not to hurt the people and the nation that I love so dearly. What I can offer in the immediate is to reduce the burden of current economic situation, which has imposed on all of us, most especially on businesses, the working class, and most vulnerable among us. Already, the federal government is working closely with states and local governments to implement interventions that will cushion the pains of our people across socio-economic brackets. Earlier this month, I signed 4 executive orders in keeping with my electoral promise to address unfriendly fiscal policies and multiple taxes that are stifling the business environment. These executive orders on suspension and deferred commencement of some taxes will provide the necessary buffers and headroom to businesses in manufacturing sector to continue to thrive and expand, to strengthen the manufacturing sector, increase its capacity to expand and create good paying jobs. We are going to spend 75 billion between July 2023 and March 2024. Our objective is to fund minimum of 75 enterprises with great potential to kickstart a sustainable economic growth, accelerated structural transformation, and improved productivity. Each of these 75 manufacturing enterprises will be able to access 1 billion credit at maximum of 9% per annum, with maximum of 60 months repayment for long-term loans and 12 months for working capital. Our administration recognizes the importance of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises and the informal sector as the drivers of growth. We are going to energize this important sector with 125 billion. Out of the sum, we will spend 50 billion conditional grant to 1 million nano businesses between now and March 24. Our target is to give a minimum of 50,000 each to 1,300 nano businesses owners in each of the 774 local governments across the country. Ultimately, this program will further drive financial inclusion by onboarding beneficiaries into the formal banking system. In like manner, we will fund 100,000 MSMEs and startups with 75 billion. Under this scheme, each enterprise promoter.
Like I said, I wasn't expecting you to get off your TV or your device, but I understand. Thank you for those who stayed back. I'm not trying to torture you. I wanted to pick things from what he's saying, the Lori Ross. But did you notice something? Remember that time when I was like, why are you sharing money to people when you have this economic downturn? Now, why don't you give that money to businesses? At maybe 1% or 2% interest, or no interest at all, right? So that they will be able to stay in business and even employ people. You remember that time when we do say that here? I kind of repeated that many times when they were sharing all this money. Well, Kolu has now used mouth to divide the meat. We are going to give 1 billion naira to 75 businesses. I hope they give them the 1 billion to help them and their businesses to stay in business. Because the way things are going, a lot of them will be out of business before the end of the year. And a lot of you will be out of jobs before the end of the year as well. Sure you get. So yeah, I picked that. Then he was going to give 100 billion to MSMEs. Now Zobo. Even this one as Zobo. And they want to give this and that and all of that. Zobo too. But I still have something, I still have more to show you, but you are kind of so pissed right now. I still have other things to even piss you off more. Maybe I should give you something that will cheer you up. And then I'll bring what will piss you off. Kind of in good way, like piss you off in good way, not like piss you off. Okay. Let's go to the screening, where they are doing screening for Kolu's ministers. And in one of the scenarios, a guy is nominated as minister. One of the senators was surprised that the guy went to university with 2 credits. Sure you get. Like, and they were surprised that are you mad? Nishe quota system is a joke to you. Thank God I even had 2 credits. That was when a Dido senator, can you believe that? Dido senator came out and he said that he passed the promotional exam to secondary school at the age of 3 years. Drama shall happen, dear Sha. I won't share that one with you if that's okay. Yeah, that's not too boring, but maybe now that I give you heads up, right? Maybe you can be in that mood. To credit university minister coming to come and resolve the Nigeria logjam. Let's go there for a break. I have another one. That is that of Wike. They did not even question him. He was there, he bragged for a few minutes, took a bow, and that was it. Wike. I mean, let's first start with this man.
Thank you very much, my very distinguished Senate President sitting as chair. Congratulations, Mr. Nominee. My name is Jimo Ibrahim Folonsho. I represent Ondo South Central District. I'm also a lawyer like yourself, about 32 years in the bar. Let me focus my question, Mr. Senate President, to the nominee on the state of insecurity. You are from Sokoto State, and you know that one of the major problems facing our nation today is challenges of insecurity. For example, let's take the issue of insurgency in one of the regions in Nigeria, which has gone the federal government $1.2 trillion. That is twice size of our GDP. The national GDP is $505 billion. In one insurgency, we have spent $1.2 trillion. Now, that is not East. This insurgency also distilled to other regions in Nigeria. If the Mr. President decides to make you Minister of Defense, for example, you do know very well that all efforts to solve this insurgency have been proven very stubborn to all solutions. For example, in the Northeast, the insurgency is now 20 years old and is still there. Now, how will you advise the Defense Ministry or our very loyal soldiers how to handle this insurgency problem? In Zamfara this morning, there were attacks on about 300-something people. Now, this is just repeating itself across the country. As Minister of Defense, Mr. Nominee, how will you advise the President who has spent 2 times of Nigeria economic size in fighting one insurgency in one region out of 6 regions in Nigeria, and insurgency still percolating and distilling to the entire Nigerian nation? Thank you very much. At least I have asked my question.
Distinguished Senator Abba.
Mr. President, I am Aminu Abbas, Adamawa Central. Mr. President, I want to plead with distinguished senators, if there is no objection, we should allow the nominee to answer the 2 questions asked and take a bow and leave, because he served as a member also in the State Assembly and even as a Deputy Speaker of Sokoto State House Assembly. Mr. President, I am on the floor, please. I am on the floor. I say if the distinguished senator hold no objection. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Mr. President.
SARS. Sitting as chair of the House of the committee, I noticed that my name is Shoaib Afolabi Salisu. I represent proudly the good people of Ogun Central. The nominee has masters in energy security management, and you also serve as Honorable Commissioner for Energy Development in Sokoto State. There's a near consensus that our country is going through energy crisis, what will you do as a member of Federal Executive Council to ensure that the energy requirement of this country that will allow small and medium-scale enterprises to grow, that will allow for improved quality of life, that will also ensure that Nigeria attains its full potential? What will you do? What will your background with masters in energy security, how will it help the country?
Dismissed, Senator Orwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. The nominee, first I want to congratulate you upon your being nominated by the President to be part of his cabinet. And I've taken time to go through your resume. I would like you to go back to your academic qualifications. I've been looking for your school cert. I saw one. You sat for 5 subjects with 2 credits. I don't know how. I want to imagine that you still have another to bring. If not, I would want you to explain how you got into university with that. Thank you.
Yeah, the nominee.
Your Excellency, Mr. President of the Senate, principal officers of the Senate, distinguished senators, I would like to answer these questions from the last one, if the Senate permit. Sir, on the issue of qualification, I have other secondary school results which I have all passed that I have not attached to my CV because we are talking of secondary school certificates. And I want to remind distinguished senator, which I know he very much know, that the qualifications of secondary school certificate as enshrined in the Constitution, you can stand for an election up to the presidential election. So I didn't bother you with much certificates, but I know I have the qualification for that. Okay, sir.
You are saying that you chose what to give to the Senate. You chose the qualification to bring before the Senate because of the constitutional provision that a secondary school certificate is what is required to stand for election. You are not coming to stand for election. You are coming to be a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So which are the other certificates you concealed? Which are the other certificates that you did not put in your CV?
Excellency, sir, the certificate of secondary school is there and other certificates of other qualifications are there. What he is asking me is, I sat, my first sitting was secondary school certificate with 2 credit passes. And what I'm trying to say is that I have sat for another examination and I have passed, but I don't want to attach another qualification because
Alaye just say quota system, there's this quota system. But I have sat for another one, which I didn't attach. I can quickly get that from my team right now before we leave this building. I'll show you that, okay? That's normal, Abi. You sit for Wike, you sit for NECO, you sit for this and that before you make your 5 credits, Abi. For some people, not all of us smart that much with book. Just save, Mr. President, it's a quota system. 2%, two credits. I was even the best from Shokoto with 2 credits. But this is not even like a slight on the Shokoto people. I'm not even trying to mock them. This is a fact too. Baba, for the past 4 or 5 years, Shokoto state government has failed to pay the WAEC fee of all the qualifying students from Shokoto State. If your family no get money to go and pay for the WAEC, register you. For Shokoto State, forget it. At first, when the children sat for the examination, 2 times, WAEC have to sort of withheld their results. They didn't give them results. The last 3 years, they did not even conduct WAEC in Shokoto at all. So if somebody from Shokoto who has been a rep member, he has been a House of Assembly member, he has been commissioner, he has been deputy speaker, he has been almost everything. So maybe later he sat for it. I don't know. He probably never cared. But why wouldn't he attach that? That's what they're asking him. I'll go show you that of Wike. Have you seen that of Wike? I'll go show you. Like I said, don't get angry. Okay. Now I'm asking my friends on YouTube. As usual, we are over 3,000 on YouTube. Okay. But only 900 of you have paid your offering. Even though I am not Ogun, but at least you know what that means. Take your moment, leave the chat room. Okay, if you haven't done that, leave the chat room, like the broadcast. You can take it to 1,500. You don't want Mayegun to protest. I can protest too. Like I can declare a protest right now and say, okay, you know what? All of us just sit down here to look at ourselves. Maybe they count them. If the thing don't reach 1,500, we'll continue. But that will be boring. And I promise not to make your night boring. Let's go see where Wike, his own interview or his own screening to be minister. Before the D-Day, Wike was already enjoying the horror of the minister. Person we talk saying get malaria for PDP. Then they ask him go join go carry cancer stage 4 in APC. God forbid, God forbid, God forbid. But they don't change.
Job. And I thank Mr. President for nominating me. I believe, knowing how hungry Mr. President is to solving the problems of Nigeria, we have no choice but to give him that required support. And I can assure you, if I'm confirmed, it will never, whatever capacity, Mr. President will not regret nominating me for this job.
Oh, yeah. Go. Is the full screening. You can enjoy it if you like. Laugh if you have to. But don't get angry that much.
His Excellency, former Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, to the hallowed chambers of the Senate for a screening. We just want you to give us a brief resume of yourself and anything you think the Nigerian public does not know yet, which you want to reveal. So the floor is yours.
Go ahead. Mr. Senate President, Deputy Senate President, and Principal Officers of these hallowed chambers, distinguished senators, Mr. Senate President, with the kind permission, can I especially recognize my senators, my 3 senators, Senator Barinada Mpigi, Senator Dr. Ipalibo Harry Banigo, Senator Olwell Nyesom. Thank you for that privilege. Mr. Senate President, my name is Ezenwo Nyesom, Wike. I'm from Obiabo local government of Rivers State. I've had my education in Rivers State from primary school to secondary school. I went to the University of Port Harcourt and had my first degree in political science and administrative studies. Thereafter, I went and served my national youth service in then Gongola State, now Adamawa and Taraba State. I came back, proceeded straight to Rivers State University, where I had my LLB law, and then proceeded to Nigerian Law School when it was in Lagos, and then was called to the bar. After my call to the bar, I had a brief stint in practice with E.C. Okala and co-senior advocate of Nigeria. Thereafter, I came to follow politics and then contested for the chairmanship position of Obiabo local government in 1999. I won as chairman and then as a second-time chairman. Of course, Nigerians know the importance of Obiabo local government as far as this country is concerned. Thereafter, I became the national president of Association of Local Governments in Nigeria, and I represented Africa in Commonwealth of Local Government. After that, I became the chief of staff to the government of Rivers State in 2007. Thereafter, I became a minister of state education and then became the supervisory minister for education. In 2014, I resigned and went to run for the governorship of Rivers State. I became the governor of Rivers State in 2015. Again, I recontested in 2019 and won. To the glory of God, I served out my tenure May 29, 2023. As governor, it's on record in this country. Everybody will attest the fact that I changed the landscape of Port Harcourt. It's on record. In 4 years, I constructed 12 flyovers in 4 years. Not by any contractor, but Jealous Beggar Nigeria Limited. One of you, Mr. President, will attest to the fact that you have even come to Rivers State to commission projects. Eminent Nigerians in both, it does not matter which affiliation, whether you're a politician, whether you're not a politician, whether you belong to Party A or you belong to Party B, all have come to Rivers State to commission projects. And I can tell you, what is important, there's no thing like magic. What is important is what passion do you have? What commitment do you love your people? And I can say, as a governor, then, in my 4 years, in the second tenure,
Sorry about that. The audio kind of would delay because of the stretch of the video. That was really Wike. He was talking about his achievement as governor, this or that, and possibly it will function well as Tinubu's Julius Baja. I mean, like walk or something, you know. I don't think it ended there, right? Here is other parts. Sorry if it's annoying. There's another one I'm going to share with you. That one is even funnier.
In my 4 years in the second tenure, I've never left my state and slept outside my state. I've made sure that I'm in my state to take the challenges, to solve the problems of my people. And that's why when I was living like a hero. They escorted me home, where women brought out their wrappers and laid on the ground and said, "March on the wrapper, welcome our son. You have done very, very well." till 27th of May, while I was living 27th of May, Mr. Senate President, I was commissioning, I was flagging off a project. This thing can be achieved if you are committed, if you have passion for the job. There are so many people who want to be minister, who want to be governor, for the sake that I was a governor, for the sake that I was a minister. But there are those who say, look, what do I want to offer? Am I committed to this job? And I thank Mr. President for nominating me. I believe, knowing how hungry Mr. President is to solving the problems of Nigeria, we have no choice but to give him that required support. And I can assure you, if I'm confirmed, in whatever capacity, Mr. President will not regret nominating me. Thank you, and God bless you.
Distinguished colleagues, before you is a man that needs no introduction. His Excellency, Governor Emeritus Nyesom Wike. Even as he was speaking, you could see the passion. You could see the love that he has for this country. Your Excellency, I was one of those who commissioned projects during your tenure when you were governor. So we welcome you, but this is the Nigerian Senate. And one of the things that the public worries about is that sometimes we play more politics with our voices. But when we get into office, we close the door against Nigerians. Will you be open? Will you have an open door policy so that all Nigerians can access you, even the poor, those with problems? Will you also be in a position to allow proper oversight of whichever ministry is given to you by legislators? Because those are the things that concern us. Being accessible to the people that you are meant to serve, and also allowing proper oversight for accountability. Deputy Senate President, do you have a question for this nominee? Otherwise, we tell him to take a bow and go.
Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, my name is Barrow Jibrin. I represent Kano North in this Hallowed Chambers. Mr. President, when I visited River State some time back, when the president of this country went there to commission some roads and other projects, I saw what the nominee did in Rivers, the legacy projects he executed. In fact, I was thinking that I missed my way. I thought I was not even in River State. I thought I was out of the country because of several overhead bridges I saw and the wonderful projects he executed in the areas of education, health care delivery system, and judiciary, and several other areas. So I'm beginning to see that if you have this kind of person as governor in several states in this country will change. So my question is this: the wonderful work you did in Rivers, are you going to replicate that in any ministry that you find yourself when after you've been cleared to be a minister?
You get the drift. The gathering of hawks, the gathering of thieves, and it is just a role play. This same time, 8 years ago, it was Amechi that did the miracle, money and the rest. for Bokwari's APC from that part of Nigeria then. And that was how he was being eulogized, praised, and all, you know. But when they were done with him, Amici is absolute nothing today. Like almost nothing. But just a crickets, political crickets on the sidewalk. So it is the turn of Wike to shine. He's got bridges. But there's something you should give to him. Oh. If you are hiring somebody, if you are hiring people for work and you want them to sell themselves to you in order to give them the job, I mean, somebody like Wike can actually have me sold off on the spot. I was just like, because of his energy, because of all of that. But I even say if I don't know him, let's say river status is not like abroad, Abby. Wow. Bridges here and there, flyovers. Anyway, he sold himself. I built 12 bridges. I built George's quarters. I did, you know. Well, is that not what you have to do? You know? So yeah, he's going to be a minister. And then Iyanya Sheshewabere. You know what is called the gathering of the ox? You will find out, don't worry. But you go tell everybody. For now, enjoy the vibe and the inshallah. Vibes and inshallah. How you they cope for this Niger vibe and inshallah? Or how you not manage for this place? Long story. Now vibes and inshallah. Everything na cruise. Until Omolomo the first suffocate. This one don't be cruise. I think saying a cruise. Are you sure you are in pain? True. Are you in pain? I'm in pain. Don't be cruise, Baba. I think saying a cruise. Because everything na cruise, vibe, and inshallah. But let us leave the drama of screening for a moment and use this opportunity to give you a short update on this dear tribunal. Then I'm going to go to the next thing. Today, Atiku and Obi, Tinubu and Shetima, they submitted their final written address, and also they argued on what the tribunal should do. Now, from the grapevine, Atiku is asking the tribunal not only to sack Tinubu, he must be disqualified, and a new election that will comply with the Constitution of Nigeria and your electoral acts. So they want the tribunal to do that, which means if the tribunal do that, the rerun and declare a rerun, it is going to be between Atiku and Obi. But Peter Obi on his own part is asking that based on the evidence available, it is not just 18,000 polling unit results were completely blank, no results, no nothing, 18,000. There were others, which are 33,000 mutilated results, unreadable results. Now, if you had 18,000 plus 33,000, that is 51,000 polling units, where based on the evidence, results presented by INEC, the bottom line right now is INEC might have declared Kolu winner and a certain number of votes allocated to him. But the truth of the matter is this: INEC cannot prove that number. They can't even present evidence how they arrived at that. But INEC is saying and then Tinubu's lawyers too, that no matter what the way the election is conducted, all right, the court should legitimize it, because by law, only the INEC can declare anybody winner. Okay? That even though they didn't present witnesses, but they didn't present witnesses, they didn't present any evidence of how Tinubu won. So they said, in their own way of defense, they decided to use the words of the witnesses presented by PDP and Labour Party, to use the evidence presented by Labour Party and PDP as their own defense too. That is allowed in law. For example, according to them, they said Peter Obi's witness, one of the witnesses who actually confirmed that nothing was wrong with the IREF system. It was deliberately turned off for the presidential election results. Okay? According to Shitiman and Tinubu, even though they have no evidence that nothing was wrong, that something was wrong, but they are going to rely on the person who said nothing was wrong. And they will just want the court to throw out that witness and this evidence, because he is a member of Peter Obi's campaign team. So because he's a member, every evidence he presented, none and void. That's what they're asking the court. Yes, we did not present evidence to counter them, but we can tell you some of their own witnesses and and their own evidence, you cannot use them because we believe that this one is a friend. So the petitioner, when it comes to the citizenship of Guinea, Tinubu of Guinea, or Tinubu Guinea, or Guinea Tinubu, right? That means Tinubu is also a citizen of another country, right? By law, you can be citizens of any other country. You can be dual. You can contest to be a senator, even be a governor. But Nigeria law says, if you are interested in becoming president of Nigeria and you have dual citizenship, you have to go and renounce one. Like, you have to do it and say, hey, I am renouncing this citizenship. I don't want it anymore. If you are British, if you are American, you have to renounce them, drop them. So if you don't, you have disqualified yourself. And what Olanipekun is now saying, you're reminding the court, is that, listen, that passport that proved that Tinubu is a Guinean is true. He is a Guinean. In fact, he was a Guinean. But that Guineanship or Guinean citizenship expired in 2020. Now, if you look at the passport expired in 2020. And that was not even like, are you mad? Show, okay. Come here. Show, all right. So if I have a Nigerian passport right now, and then it expires, does that mean that my Nigerian citizenship has expired? If that is the case, a lot of us are probably stateless right now. We don't get any citizenship. Well, how did this one become a lawyer? A son? Sand, or Sandalili? That's one thing about the obedient. They're mad, gone. The obedient, whenever they see Festus or Frostus Otobokeyamo, even if Frostus Otobokeyamo come out and say, good morning, my fellow people, the obedient will bombard him. Shut up your mouth, fake news merchant, Sandalili, Sandfili, Sawdusty. Which one be this one? Which sand be this or sand? Anything, Sandalili. Woliola no kweko show mad in. How can a citizenship expire because a passport expires? Who be this person? San, senior advocate of nuisance or nonsense. Anyway, it depends on your court. Remember, I told you that what they are relying on is technicality. Okay? Technicalities like, Peter Obi is not a member of Labour Party. Peter Obi's witness is also a member of Labour Party. So everything is said, no, we don't. That means this case is, throw it out. Anyway, finally, I mean, may I show you the courtroom video? It was first Atiku. I think he came in this convoy. I cannot readily confirm that this video was today. I kind of believe that those who uploaded it today wanted it to see what it feels like, that whether it's president or no president, Atiku could not live like, say, him be your president anyway, or living like a president. Now, whatever you are facing with Kolu, if they disqualify Kolu and declare Atiku, you are going to welcome to under Shege Pro Max. You have no idea. This was the grand entry at the tribunal, I believe, today.
Morning, sir. Jando. Yes, sir.
Just like I said, I cannot readily verify that, but I can verify this one, that Atiku had to come to the final submission by himself today. And this was inside the courtroom. Just for the view. That was Atiku's team and everybody in there. Somebody said that, recently they nearly assassinated him, right? They wanted to kill him. So, yeah, Boko Haram guys, they wanted to bomb his school, his private school. And they also wanted to bomb his house and kill him. They arrested him. So, yeah, he's probably going to endure those security for some reason. What happened to Peter Obi? That one, we know even ain't no girl, this security, all this cars, everything. The guy just a waka like say, more obedient. I mean, I can only imagine what it is like for some of you if you feel like so kind of into this Nigeria madness that is unfolding. You'll be like, you need to protect Obi. You need to Chimamanda was on ground too. And this was the final written address, argument, submission, blah, 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 blah. Because after today now judgment remain. If you hear breaking news, the tribunal judges has given a date that they will deliver their judgment. Just know, say that judgment, they are probably reading it in the asshole rock already before all of us go see them. Or maybe whether judiciary, juditon sharing, maybe they will do the right thing. Because say, if the judiciary say, for technical reason, no case against Kolu, like 100%, all of you will be like, no, that's very corrupt, Abi. The only judgment we go work for some of you is for the court to declare Obi win, Abi. For the mechanity, is for the court to declare Atiku winner. Any judgment contrary to all of this, zobu ni omo, we don't go agree. Abi, you go agree? So let us be honest. All of you say we are waiting for judiciary. We are waiting for judiciary. Omo, what are you waiting for? Tell me, go, one-on-one. What are you waiting for? To declare Obi winner or nothing else. You are talking, Abi? To declare Atiku winner or nothing else. Okay. Technicalities in the moment low. Unfortunately, technicalities. If they won't come finish everybody, if they won't finish everybody, they'll come confuse everybody more by saying the election was mad with serious complication and all that, even though they may not be totally enough to call off the result and all that, but for the sake of Kinekon institution and all that, they are ordering that there should be a rerun election. There should be a rerun election. Now that one go create confusion. Now go ask yourself, make court explain who and who go for a run. Is it 3 of them again? Or not 2? What happened to this and that? That kind of confusion. They will say, okay, yeah, no worry, no vex. Hey, everybody calm down. Wait for Supreme Court. Some of you go wait again. Make Supreme Court come and explain what the tribunal said. Confusion. See, I mean, you guys have you have this coping mechanism to strong go. Man, no lie you. A lot of you are very strong. Me, wake up, go to bed every day, hoping that something like a miracle will come from the coven. Miracle from the coven. Baba, People I'm very sure. I am so confident. I say, you mean like a confidence it's in you. Shall share, sir? Like, I'm not mocking you, but I know just get time. I have seen enough. When you see Shege, when you see dubious people and what they have done, and you can imagine what they can do. Baba, go get one small kind of tiny vein in you to even entertain, say, something good will come out of them. But it's all right. It's fine. We are coming close. Things are coming to, So Peter Obi's security, Peter Obi's case, it's like pretty much like is on top of it. I'll put it that way. So today he was also in court, probably to give the moral booster to his legal team. Then Chimamanda was there too, and his vice, Dati Ahmed. Just briefly. So the whole thing and all of that have come to an end. Now it's going to be for the judges to now write their judgment. There are 5. Okay? To answer all prayers or reject any prayer, they would have to go and write their judgment one after the other. Like they will write all of that, 5 of them. Now, if they have a unanimous decision on each case, they will read them out. If they don't have a unanimous decision as well, you will read about that, and maybe it's going to be 3 against 2. For example, the head of the tribunal has other 4 members. Now, if 2 says Tinubu should be disqualified, another 2 says the case against him should be dropped. That means that's a tie. The head of the tribunal would have to break the tie. So if the head of tribunal side with those who said there should be a rerun, there will be a rerun. So in their judgment, they will now talk about who is going to be disqualified or if all of them are going to, whatever. But you kind of should know where the pendulum will swing. I mean, you can predict it. Predict it so that probably you will just have to enjoy the shock when your prediction doesn't go. Me, I'm waiting for that shock. I haven't sort of, that shock, the shock of when I will go live, I will just be like, and everybody will be like, Mayegu, we told you, the God of Kiniko, and I say, I agree with you. God bless you. That shock, that's what I'm waiting for. Or if their tribunal come out and say, technical Kiniko, I'm sorry if you see my face that day without much shock. Don't think I'm kind of inhuman when you see that day. Because I will be like, I'm not surprised. None of this surprises me. It's not because I find it good predicting them, because it's nothing to actually predict anyway. It's just that people are trying to avoid believing what the end goal will be by kind of creating an alternative scenario so that they won't have to worry about the end of where this is headed. But I don't want to create alternative scenario. I want you to see the event that is happening, the actors, so that you yourself will not have to create any alternative scenario, right? You'll be able to say, well, this is what they are doing, or this is where this whole thing is going. Maybe if we are worried enough, we can stop them, because that's where we are still going. Ability to be able to stop them. The strength in numbers to be able to stop them. We will stop them.